I have something to tell you if you don't already know. March 22nd to the 24th, I'll be holding the largest wholesaling real estate event in Dallas, Texas. I'm bringing you the top producers and top gurus around the country. And not only that, I have a special guest speaker, somebody that I look up to. Gary V is going to be in the building. So make sure you take your time and purchase your tickets now to the event in the link below. And enjoy the vlog. Give DJ and Crystal a round of applause for setting this up. All I had to do was fly in, so I had nothing to do with organizing this. I just had to show up. So this is great. But obviously, most of y'all have seen how we do pop-ups. It's random. We come, we just talk real estate. I don't have anything to teach you as far as like a specific thing. We ain't selling nothing here. This is all, you know, this space probably costs a little bit of money, did it? Yeah. Okay, so we do this out of, you know, it costs money, but we love to give back, right? We've been blessed over the last couple of years ourselves, and we always like try to give back. So now is the time for you to be very selfish and ask those questions that you always wanted to ask that you couldn't get to ask on social media, right? So if you're talking about a certain deal that you have or a certain thing you hung up on, this is the time to ask those questions. You know, all of us were very busy in our day-to-day jobs running our company, and sometimes we can't get back to you fast enough in the inbox and the DMs and all that stuff. Because I mean, they got kids and they got lives, and it's so much. I'm pretty sure they work 18 plus hours a day like I do. So now is the opportunity to just, be very selfish, ask the question that you want to ask, and we're just going to freestyle. We're going to box back and forth and see if we can answer those questions.
Max is, what, 30 minutes away from us?
Yeah.
He lives 30 minutes away from us.
Literally, so our markets are right next to each other. And we were at his very first
the first pop-up
meetup he ever did.
Yeah, meetup.
Right in the front. Right in the front, he didn't hold back. He didn't be like, oh, these kids is in my territory.
Nah, every month I do a free meetup for local people to do it, and then they were, it was. So they booming, they booming. In less than 1 year, you see how they booming. So this is awesome.
We had seen every video he did, and we were literally tailoring our deals around video. So if we got a deal and we're like, wait, I'm like, I think Max did a video on that. We'll go back. We'll watch the video.
What do you say to the seller? How do you negotiate it?
That's cool, man. And now they're speaking at the largest wholesaling conference that we're putting on this year in Dallas. So that's crazy for a year ago. Now they're going to be on stage. So that's legit. So let's ask away. I know you had your hand raised. I hate picking hands, so as soon as the question's done, get the next one out.
My name is Corey. I just have a question about bankruptcy. Once someone surrenders their home through a bankruptcy, is there any possibility to go in and negotiate?
To be honest, I have never dealt with somebody surrendering, and I'm not a guru, so I won't sit here and tell you about things I haven't done. But from what I do know is once you do surrender your house through bankruptcy, it's usually gone. That's a no point of return. I've never dealt with it, but that's usually the case with anything. Once you surrender it, it goes back to the lien holder or the lender.
We try to get it before that happens.
Yeah, so and that's the smart part. Right. Try to get there before. So how you got to look at this business is we're solving problems. And just think of yourself as a doctor. Every problem has symptoms, and it usually follows the same path to get to the problem. So what you have to do is reverse engineer the problem and figure out what symptoms you can identify prior to it getting to the problem. Does that make sense? So if somebody is going to go towards bankruptcy, usually they're going to be 90 days late on something. Yep. Well, there's actually data you can get from a company called Citricato that pulls 90-day lates off of credit reports, and it could be credit cards, it could be anything, but sometimes you start to find the mortgages in there, right? So just simple things like that. And then in North Carolina, when there's a foreclosure happening, like 3 months prior, they do what they call assignment of a mortgage, and then the trustee or what is it? Yeah, I think the hired trustee then goes down there and actually starts to file paperwork, which is an attorney on behalf of. So then you have all these warning signs that it's coming down the road, and you got to try to jump in front of it before it gets to the actual part where they're in foreclosure.
You just spelled Citricato?
Yeah, Citricato. I don't know how to spell it. Terrible speller. If you guys haven't known yet.
Citricato.
Yeah, C-I. Yeah, there you go.
In regards to wholesaling and going out and talking with motivated sellers and their price is high and you're coming in low, Talk about bridging the gap. How do y'all do that?
I don't.
So I handle the negotiations and the business and the sales part. That's my background. My wife, so she's a visionary. So she's the one who's very creative. I'm the integrator in our company, so I'm the one who handles like the brass tacks and the operation stuff. Man, dealing with sellers, they're up here, you down here. Honestly, I watched a lot of Max's videos when I was first starting out, and I was just like, man, how did he get this lady from 100,000 to 40,000?
Yeah, right.
And just watching the interplay, he would record some of the calls, and I literally was taking notes, and I would go on my next seller appointment and use a lot of the same wording and phrases and talk tracks that he used, and I would get them down. So it's a matter of they have to be motivated. You have to have someone that's truly motivated. They have to need to sell, not want to sell. That's the first thing. Because most people aren't just going to sacrifice their equity and sell to you for cheap just because. They want to get the maximum. But if they're getting divorced, their job just transferred them out of state, they have some type of pressing issue where they need to sell, that's where you can negotiate that price. So talk about the repairs. Hey man, there's no way I can give you 500,000 where, you know, I got to put 200,000 in repairs into it. So after I buy it for 500 and I put 200,000 into it, I might as well buy a brand new house. So kind of use things like that to get the price down.
So that's a good thing. One thing is they got to be motivated. You got to think of it in another sense. When somebody calls a bandit sign and wants to sell their house, where in the totem pole is selling your house and bandit signs?
Right.
The first person you're going to call if you're not desperate is a realtor. And it just starts going down the list. And you know where bandit signs are? Way at the bottom.
Right.
So when you call me, I already have a sense of motivation. Now, I do get calls from people that are really not motivated. But you have to start and find that pain point. So the conversation with me is so I did a house yesterday. Guy wanted 280. I got him down to 210 and then sold it for 230 5 minutes later. So the point is, the reason why I got there is I identified his pain problem. He needed to move out of state to get his dad into a new house, and he didn't want to put him in a nursing home. He owned like 4 houses and he wanted to sell the one in Charlotte. I don't really dabble in the Charlotte market. But I found his pain point, and then I started talking. I needed to find out how painful it was. And then he said one mistake. He says, I'm an expert real estate investor like you. So I said, then you know I can't pay $280 for this house. So I said, what does it cost to do this? And we just started going common sense down. And I said, look, you're at this number. I'm gonna be more like I said 185.
Anchor.
I said 185. And then I just sat on the phone silent for 5 minutes.
Press mute on the phone. Don't say nothing.
And just waited.
Go walk. Go take a walk.
And then he said, well, you know, I can, and then we negotiated back and forth the number just based on, I can't pay this, I have to make a profit. And I told him, and I record this conversation so it may come out on YouTube in the next couple of days. But you're gonna see the conversation go from, he's here, I'm here. I start knocking him down based off facts first. Right, because I'm on Zillow while we're talking. Hey, there's a house down the street listed for, you know, $310. How are you gonna sell it to me for $280? Doesn't make sense. And I got to do this, I got to do that. So really common sense negotiation, and then really pressing his pain. I told him when I got him on the phone, I said, this is the last phone call you're gonna make about this house. You're gonna sell it right now on this phone call. I already told him that. Because he said, I'm tired of dealing with this. And even furthermore, he already had it locked up with another wholesaler that couldn't sell it because he locked it up at $279. So now the time was ticking for him, and he wanted, remember, you got to go in there and thinking, listen, I got $1 million, you want to sell a house, there's millions of houses out here.
Yep.
I don't have to buy your house because there's about 20 more calls going to come in today before I leave. Yep. So when we established that point, we got down to he needed to sell me the house. I didn't need to buy it. That was the difference. So we started working. We closed on it. He signed the contract, and I literally did one text message to Nazir and sold it for $230. So it's all about common sense. But I'll watch some videos of negotiation and get your baseline. And there's some tactics that every sale negotiation has. I don't care if you're selling cars, houses, perfume, it doesn't matter. It has some basic stuff. Learn those things and you'll be golden.
So I stumbled across your website actually a week ago today.
Awesome.
And only to find out, fast forward to the March event, well, a couple of weeks in Texas, only to find out that Dedrick and his wife were on as speakers, and myself and Dedrick's grandmother were business partners several years ago when
Small world.
in her living room. So the law of attraction is real in this case. So I really would like to know what was your mindset when you knew? I heard your story about hearing about wholesaling from your best friend's brother. You left the house, locked yourself in a room several weeks.
Yeah.
Where was your mindset?
I was at a place of rock bottom. You know, 30 years old, moving back in with my mother was not a place I wanted to be, especially when I was, you know, somewhat doing okay before. I knew that something had to change, and I knew it wasn't my hustle, because I was always a hustler. It was my mindset. And that's where I always tell people, I can tell you exactly what to do to go out there and make $3 million a year right now in this room. But if you don't have the computer chip, the program in your head to receive this information, you will not do anything with it. I literally started to think everything in abundance. Like, there's nothing I can't do.
What you say?
Like, really, there's nothing that I can't do. I used to, how many of you used to pray for a six-figure job?
Right.
I used to be like, man, I want, well, I'm from the South. Y'all get $20 an hour to do anything, but up here. But, you know, so I used to, back in the days, you used to say, man, I don't want a six-figure job and be okay. And then you literally start looking at, you change your circle, and you don't know, you know that six figures is nothing.
Six figures in Boston, you're middle class.
Yes.
I mean,
At best.
At best.
Like, you're barely getting by.
So when I started changing who I hung around in my mindset and watching different things, I literally started thinking that it didn't make any sense, right? Now, if I don't do, I'll be honest, if I don't do 100K a week, it don't make sense, right? So that's the mind shift change in just 2.5 years. And that's how you have to go back to just changing what's here. And once you change what's in between your ears, then you can receive, because all this information is out there for free.
Yep.
I learned it for free, and that's why I don't have a course to really, I mean, let me put this out. I don't have a course because I'm not a course type. I wouldn't learn from a course, essentially, right? But people do learn from courses. Some people do have to go through courses, so there are good courses out there. But you can kickstart this just from the YouTube, like most of you, that's how you got here. You know, you can kickstart it, and then you see the opportunity to invest in yourself and take it to the next level, right? But a lot of people never educate themselves. Now, I spend $200,000 a year just in education, just on myself. Why? Because when you make X amount of dollars, it doesn't matter. So I pour that back into me, and that's how you should start doing it yourself.
Absolutely.
100%. So change your mindset. That's the biggest thing, is to change that. Anybody here can do this. If I can, 2 immigrant parents that come from Jamaica, that come to America, I'm a first generation American that barely passed high school, to get to the point where I'm financially blessed and independent, anybody in this room can do it if you just believe that you actually can.
I just want to piggyback off of that with a question. So, like, I do understand also, like, changing your mindset and stuff, you can change the direction of your life and all that type of stuff. But, like, is there anything, like, specific or any practice that, that keep you on course? Because, like, sometimes, I'm human, we're all human. Sometimes, you might feel like you're making wind or something, and then, life happens, and like you're back doing old habits, or with the, how do you keep your mindset, like, rejuvenated? Like,
everybody you have around you right now, cut them off.
Yep.
And if they love you, they understand.
Yep.
Cut them off. Everybody. Your biggest doubters are your family members and the people right next to you. Like, they don't understand. Like, they don't understand how somebody can leave a job that's paying them good money to go create their own thing. Right? It doesn't make sense. Like, so I hate to say it, but cut off everybody around you. They'll come back and you'll go back and get them. But if they love you, they'll understand that, I need this. I need 3 months. Y'all leave me alone. And you just go change your mindset. Start doing things that make you feel uneasy. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, walk into a cigar bar, buy a cigar, and just sit down and have a cup. Do something that you've never done before. Yep. Go chill at a bookstore. You would play a video game. Go chill at a bookstore for 2 hours and just have a conversation with a regular stranger across the table. Start doing things that make you feel uncomfortable to change your circle.
I'm sorry, I'm not hogging.
Yeah.
So and within those 3 months or whatever period that you decide to kind of, like, wean negativity out of your life, what would be like a starter's kit for somebody who has no experience as far as, like, wholesaling? Like, you know what I mean? Like, just certain apps or certain habits. Like I get the whole driving.
Yeah. So what I would say is once you cut everything off, I mean cut sports off, turn rap music off, and no music, nothing. Every moment you have, and this is how you literally become. You literally listen to podcasts, watch videos, and start Googling stuff. And you do those 3 things, and cut everything off. And do those 3 things, you will become obsessed with this topic of wholesaling.
And to get more in line with what you're asking, so you're just starting, right?
Well, not even yet. Just
So what you want to start with, go to YouTube and start looking at videos on how to start. Start going back with how to get your LLC. This is stuff real detailed and specific, things that you need to do. How to get your LLC, how to create a cash buyers list. Start watching just podcasts, videos, going to old YouTube, Facebook clips, and start looking at these things, because one of the videos that helped me was Max's, and it literally completely changed my world. Because I kept asking my husband, I said, listen, we need a VA, we need a VA, we need a VA.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
And then, just so happened, I'm going to tell you this how God works. Because I kept saying, we need a VA, we need a VA. And he
virtual assistant.
Which is a virtual assistant. And then I said, I just so happened, I got on YouTube and I watched one of his videos. And the first one that came up was, why you don't need a VA, something like that. And this is no lie. The video came up as soon as I opened my YouTube. First thing it says was a video from him on why you don't need a VA. Then I said, damn, I gotta watch it. And I said, I believe in listening, even if I
Other
don't
perspectives.
want to.
Other perspectives.
Right, and I said, I gotta hear it. And first thing he said is, you don't need a VA to do something that you won't do. You have to learn how to do it first in order to tell a VA how to do it or what you need done. You have to learn how to do it first. So then I went to my husband, I said, damn, we don't need a VA. So then what I wanted her to do, right, but what I wanted her to do was something that I was afraid of, which was cold calling. And I was deathly afraid of calling and hearing no, or get off my phone, and da-da-da. And let me tell you how God works. I made a phone call. I just quit, fired my boss. I was a weekend. I said, listen, just give me a week. That's all I need. I watched that video of his on, making calls and calling sellers. I forgot the name of it. My husband left, went to go pick the kids up. I got on the phone. And I literally cold called for the first time. I needed to get my bearings. And I needed to be by myself. So I literally called. First lady I called, we ended up getting an appointment. She kept me on the phone for about an hour, but I was okay. My nerves and stuff was like, okay, I can do this. Called the second person, didn't get him. Called the third person, ended up getting an appointment. At that point, I was geeked. My husband came through the door. I was like, yo. I was like, yo, guess what happened? But after that, it was like I was off and running. The one thing that I was afraid of is what it took me to change my mindset. Like he said, my husband gets on me all the time because from the moment he wakes up, he's listening to a podcast.
Me too.
To the moment he goes to sleep.
Me too.
So he's not lying all day, every day. And then if you come home on the 70-inch screen, it's YouTube.
What would you recommend for young entrepreneurs to do for personal growth?
Man, just start watching and reading things that you've never done before. You know what I'm saying? Like personal growth. Start going. You know what meetup.com is? Of course. Go to meetups with people that are like-minded like yourself, and that'll change your circle. And then that alone will help you blossom.
Thank you.
For sure.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely, man. Keep grinding.
See me soon. Yes, sir.
All right. You got a picture of it? Yeah, for sure.
Somebody said checks.
Wires. Hey, what's up, guys? We're just wrapping up the pop-up here in Boston with Deidre and Crystal Polite. Awesome turnout. I got a burn and turn. I'm about to head to the airport. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you guys next time.